The old man used to tell his grandson a story. There was a group of children with supernatural powers. In order to escape from monsters, they lived on an island, isolated from the rest of the world. Little Jack believed it. When he grew up, Jack was about to visit his grandfather. Grandpa said there were monsters chasing him. By the time he got there, Grandpa's eyes were gone. He told Jack to find the island, and then he stopped breathing. He came to the place, but it was in ruins. Jack walked into the ruins. He saw a girl and some kids. Jack tried to run out, but he fell. And when he woke up, there were some people standing next to him. They're the people in the stories Grandpa told. They took Jack into the cave. This is where he meets Miss Peregrine. Look at this girl. She can speed up the growth of carrots with her mind. The boy has bees in his belly, and he has friends who are invisible. A girl who can heat a teapot with just her hands. This girl takes off her iron shoes and flies into the sky. She sends a squirrel back to its home. This boy can manipulate puppets, and the puppet does whatever he says. And there were strange twins. At dinner, the little girl took a chicken leg and put it behind her head. The leg was eaten clean. Miss Peregrine wipes her mouth. They're a bunch of people with superpowers. Jack was happy to meet them. They lived in this castle. It was a day in 1943. At night, a bomber appeared in the sky. It dropped a bomb. Miss Peregrine pressed her pocket watch. Time was suspended. She twisted the hands. Time began to flow backwards. They went back to last night. That's Miss Peregrine power. The wind girl led Jack to a place on the sea. She jumped off the boat. Jack jumped off with her. The girl blew bubbles upwards, giving Jack the air he needed to breathe. There's a shipwreck down there. They enter the shipwreck and come to a room. The girl blew bubbles forward. Soon the room is drained. The girl pulls out a box, and on it was information about the monster. Then she took Jack to the wall. A monster appeared on the shore. Miss Peregrine had been waiting for it. The monster approached slowly. She raised her crossbow and shot it in the head. Then she turned back in style, but only Jack could see the monster. They can't. That's Jack's power. Jack came back to reality. Something happened in town. A man had his eyes gouged out. The monster's already here. Jack wants to tell Miss Peregrine. Jack ran into the caves. He realized he was being followed. Suddenly, he took on the form of a teacher, and then the monster took Jack to the castle. He threatened to take Miss Peregrine back with him. Miss Peregrine called the children into the room. Then she turned into a bird. She flew into a cage. The monster threw Jack into the room. Then he took Miss Peregrine and left. She was about to face an excruciating ordeal, because they were going to experiment on her, to achieve immortality. The children are not safe. There's a monster heading this way. They're setting up their defenses, waiting for the monster to show up. A big monster crawled in through the wall, but they can't see it. It rolls up the boy and smashed him against the wall. Only Jack could see. He searched for an opportunity with his crossbow. The creature was about to gouge the boy's eyes out. Jack shot his crossbow and saved him. They ran upstairs, locked the door behind them. Then they went out the window. The little girl made the branch grow with her mind. They used it to escape, but the monster was right behind them. The bomber dropped a bomb. In a moment of desperation, the wind girl took off her shoes and flew away with Jack. The castle is in ruins. The time loop was broken. They made it to the beach. They're going to rescue Miss Peregrine. The wind girl enters the shipwreck. She spits out a lot of bubbles. The ship is drained. Then the ship floats. The fire girl ignites the powerhouse. The ship made it back to sea. They found the monsters in the theater. Wind girl went out to provoke the monsters. Several monsters followed them outside. They threw snowballs and marshmallows. Make the monster presentable. Then the boy manipulated an army of skeletons and kills them all. Back to the theater. The boy releases a large number of bees to interfere with the other side. The twins take off their masks, instantly petrify the female monster. The boy activates the puppet elephant. The elephant stomps the other one to death. The wind girl blows a big wind, puts the monster boss against the wall. Jack enters the lab, saves all the birds. At that moment, wind girl ran out of wind power. Monster boss turned his hand into an axe, split the lab door. Wait for them to come back. Two Jacks appeared inside. One of them is the boss of the monsters. A monster burst in. Jack can see it, but the boss couldn't, so he was swept up by the monster. He died at the hands of one of his own. After this incident, Jack left the real world, and he lived with them. Miss Peregrine watched all this. She turned into a bird again, protecting the children.